Hey all, and welcome back to the Dentist Speed Shop YouTube channel. So, back on the Phil Burke's Bullet bus, and this is part 3, just an update now showing you where we're at. So, we've got the side panels in for the van here. Some of the bullet holes all put in there, so we're going through from the back. Remember I said I was leaving these two open just here so I can go in. Every single one of those holes was hand drilled out with this. I keep interjecting some little videos here just to show you some previous stuff as I was building this up, what I was doing, how I made these corners, how they are radiused, how I use masks. So you'll see a few of those videos pop up. Here we are on one of the side panels, and I don't know if you can see it, but I've hand drilled with this little bad boy all the bullet holes here so far. I've just got 6 more to go here, then a whole plethora of these here. I've just done some louver bits like this now, so all these bullet holes match all the bullet holes on there, and then this will match this, and then I'm going to get the old soldering iron trick from the back through every single one of those just to make it look like it's dented in like a bullet hole would be. Then clean all the black off, and then bond it onto the side of the van. Let's see how we get on. And that is killing my hands. So this is what it's like. Look, just gotta literally turn it by hand. Probably making the worst video in the world. There we go. Each one like that to go through. Do 2 more like that. So all the way through, so I'll just go through there. That one was that one. So 4 more to go on this bit. We've started matching some of the denting up on here, so you can make out, hopefully make that out okay there. Again, all the way through the front, so most of all the dents have all been put in place now, heated in to that. Got the rear corners covered in. Obviously remembering this was actually a samba before, so corner windows in there. So all I've done is I've actually put an infill piece, which I'll show you in coming through. Hey guys, so yeah, that's the template cut out for these. So what I'll do is I'll just transfer that onto another piece. I'll just peel it out if I can get to it, and then there we go. So I'm trying to do this one in like a few edits, so use our brains. We just put that on the edge there, so I haven't got to cut quite so much out. I'll just go around that with some curved Lexan scissors, makes it nice. But yeah, one of these, we'll just sand these edges down a little bit, give it a bit of heat, give it a curve, and then we'll put that as an inlay for that window to make it into the panel van. Okay, so we've got a template, and now I'm just going to bond that into there. All this is going to do is just help support that corner, so that when I put the wrap around to make it into the panel van, it doesn't flex and move. It'll just support that in there. I'll do the same on these side windows as well. Remember, we want this one open so that we can do the work on for the bullet holes at the back. And then I'm going to start work on making this rear window up. I've made like a little mask roughly from here, and then I shall just narrow that down, transfer it onto a decent piece of masking paper, and do the same as I did, because you want the small rear window in there. And I've got some little trim to go around it, which I'll bring back in and show you later on. Right, let's get this bonded up. Okay, so I've got myself a template for the back of here. Look, that's the insert panel we're going to make to go in there. And of course this is a 56, so it needs a small rear window. So we've cut out that one. We're going to use the little piece of Lexan left over. We'll stick that behind it, because obviously that's going to be there. The corners are just bonded onto there and drying. So I've drawn out what we want. Now we just got to get the correct radius for that corner. So these are really handy. Got this offline somewhere. We'll just figure out exactly what radius we want in that corner. So it wants to be a bit tighter than that. Probably something about that, maybe. Let's have a look. Let's get those overlapping. Wants to be a bit more than that, I think. So yeah, I want it to be about that sort of there. So we'll just transfer that on there. I'll come back to you and show you once it's cut out. Okay, so this is the rear panel now. I've cut out the bit for the rear window, only roughly, because what I want to do is I want to trim round it on the inside with this little plastic hard strip that I buy. And then we're going to just glue that in around there, all the way around, so that I can shape this so it's a proper curved in recess, just to give it that actual profile it would have on the real one. So I'm just going to cut that now and bond it in there. Okay, so I thought I'd just show you what I'm going to do here. I'm just going to got this set square on it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to glue these in place down there so I can shave them in, so that'll be perfectly square to the window, square off all the window. So I'm just going to mark up where the edges are so I can put that in place, be nice and square. What I'm going to use is this Tamiya extra thin cement. It glues this plastic card to each other perfectly, and what it does, it like melts each surface down to each other. So let's get that set back up. Let's just quickly mark where we need to be for the ends. So just there. So let's get that on there. Get that set square to the very edge of that window. Let's give it a little overlap, just like that. There we go. So that's square. Move it across a little bit and re-square it. There we go. This is where just the setting it up just makes all the difference. There we go. All we need is a little bit of this. Just paint it on the back of it. There we go, there. And down there. Press down firmly on here just to make sure everything's in place. When I get to that line, I'm trying to do it so you can see as well. I'm not in the shot constantly. Okay, that is now bonded down. Let's hold that down, keep some pressure on it. What I'll do is repeat again this side. There you go, look, that's bonded down. I could do another one with an overlap there. Keep the overlap there. I'll trim this down. There we go. So I'll do another one across there, so that what I can do then is where this is here, I can use that straight edge of the back of the plastic card there and just bring the window down into it. I noticed on Phil's bus it's got a raised fuel cap, so I've cut it out, spun it round so it's actually got a 4-inch raise, because Phil's actual bus has got a 4-inch body drop on it in real life, so I'm trying to replicate that in all the things. Okay, so we're back. So obviously on Phil's bus the body has been dropped by 4 inches, so that means the fuel flap has been raised up. So what I'm going to do is, as I said, I'm going to cut that out. So what I've done is I've cut it. I'll put a picture up on the screen of what I actually mean on Phil's actual bus, and then I'm going to flip that on its head to raise that up. We'll just slot that back in there, look. Get that bonded in, we'll put a plate behind it, square it all up, and then that will be the line where it's actually been raised up. So I think that'll look pretty cool. Just all these little fine details that make it exactly their bus. And then coming up on next on the back end is these lights. I'm going to delete those out, just literally cut around them and then fill them over, and then put plastic card inserts in there, because it's going to have the tiny little bullet lights at the back. And then I'm going to cut out the rear engine hatch and then strengthen it up, plate it up so that it'll actually open and close, and then have the engine sat in the back there. Obviously that's got the rear bit in it, because I already cut that out. I shall show you in the little video. Cut some of the arches out just to get a general idea of it, and then I've put the backing on here so that we can actually start to heat these up, shrink them down, and then sand it out. And then the backing, whatever is burnt through or sanded through, we can put some filler on and that'll sit on it. Again, same this side, and we just started to just go through on the roof, just heating and just shrinking that down slightly. Don't rush it, or else it'll get out of shape. Yeah, so quite a lot done actually on the body, and I'll just add a few more videos in. So next will be this side. I've already got the section cut out here, so I'll have a piece in here, then the pieces here. I cut them out to make sure that the door lines that you can see will actually line up with the joins that I put in, so it actually continues the door shut line all the way up, and this one will sit over here. We'll just cut that into place. Where that little line is, there'll be another cut to show this door line here, and then after that I'll make some hinges and just make it look like hinges there. This side door won't open because on the RC stuff it's just far too difficult and makes the body too flimsy. You have to put too much structural rigidity in through the bottom. I tried it once, it doesn't work. Same with the front doors. But we'll have one of the windows partly open. We're going to make some pop out fronts, same as my van, and then a little bit more work at the front. I've got a complete dashboard as we've shown in the first video to go in there. So yeah, really looking forward to seeing that in place actually. Let's grab it. Rustling in the background of the toolbox. So here we go. That's going to sit in there just like that. It'll look fantastic when we just shaved it down, put it in there. Especially with those pop out fronts. That's going to look wicked in my eyes. So there we go, look. That chucked in there. Pop out fronts. Oh, it's going to look so ace. So yeah, it's gonna dent this up, bit more work on around the lights. But yeah, then the main bit of work really is going to be flattening this out now, and then just so all I'm going to do with this is just I've put a piece on the inside. You'll see on the other video that I'm put in, but I'm going to profile that in to make it nice and smooth, so it's recessed in there so it looks correct. And then we'll just put some filler in around with these join lines to fill this up, trim this down a little bit. This isn't glued in place yet, so we'll trim these down. On the edge here, we'll run some filler all the way along here, into here, all the way along here, into here. Smooth that all out nicely, just radius it into the shape of the body. And I say next bit, just getting rid of these. So I think that's going to be it for this one. So, and then the next one we'll do after that is we'll mask off the windows. Once we get everything in place, give it a flash of colour, and then we can rub it down. And once that's you've got a bit of primer on there, it just transforms the whole thing, because all the colours and mixes and everything all tied together, and it just becomes a panel van immediately, and it looks ace. So hopefully next video we'll have some colour on this, and it'll be amazing, and we can start working on the dents and everything like that. We'll get this flattened off. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll get back to you with some shorts and a few little updates in between. Hope you like those. Like, subscribe, do all the good stuff please, because it really does help. I want to try and get to eventually being able to do lots more of these videos. So thank you. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.